Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Optimistic News channel. All the optimistic news you can get, because that's basically all that there is within the cryptocurrency space. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having an absolutely incredible day. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So, where do I begin? This is the first time we have ever had this news. I cannot believe it. Oh, wait, no, we've been getting this news basically every single day for the last 9,000 or so years. Hedge fund veteran, his name is Tom Lee, is maintaining bullish conviction on both the stock market and Bitcoin following the halving that took place on the 20th of April. If you have not been here or have not been paying attention, the weirdest of things has been taking place. And I mean extremely weird. Remember what it is? For some odd reason, everyone is discussing Bitcoin's price in the future. That's not the weird part. The number that everyone keeps going back to is the exact same number as everyone else. That's the weird part. Because normally, I mean, even the same thing happens for altcoins. Have you all been paying attention? People talk about Ethereum's going to 4,800. Ethereum might hit 7,000. Ethereum might do this. It might go to 10,000. It might go to 12,000, 14, 17,000, all these different numbers. With Bitcoin, for some reason, for whatever the metrics or charts might be showing, everyone's coming to the exact same conclusion at the exact same number. And it's getting a little weird at this point simply because it's like, you're all saying the exact same number. Like, are we actually going to end up going there? In a new interview on CNBC, Tom Lee says that the halving, which cut the Bitcoin rewards in half late last week, along with the rise of the Runes protocol. The Runes, for those of you who missed that video, this is the brand new thing that everyone's going crazy for. The guy who created Bitcoin NFTs, the inscriptions, the ordinals, created a new protocol called Runes. I don't know why they have all these fancy names. Runes is basically a way to create new currencies on top of Bitcoin. So you know how like you can build new coins on top of Ethereum, and there's like hundreds of coins and thousands of projects, yada, yada, yada. You can now do the same on top of Bitcoin. And because of Runes, there's more network activity. Because of more network activity, the transaction fees have been going up. And because the transaction fees have been going up, the price is also moving up. There's a lot of stuff going on at the exact same time. So Runes are now I looked crazy. I said the word runes, and for some reason my eyes bulged out of my head as I was looking at the screen as if I couldn't see it properly. Runes are the brand new thing, which has helped generate massive amounts of fees for the flagship blockchain and is going to contribute to upward pressure on the price. The Fundstrat co-founder, who has been vocally bullish on Bitcoin for like 8,000 years now, is forecasting... Once again, he's forecasting a Bitcoin price of $150,000 potentially before the year's end. Why does that sound familiar? Because we had the same thing, I think, last video and the video before. We've heard the same exact thing from every single company. Now, normally, we would hear from a company who says, no, we're going to max out at 100. Another one who says, I'm thinking 175. Another one who might even be hyper pessimistic and say, well, 80 is as high as we're going to go by December. Everyone, for some reason, has $150,000. This even says before the year's end. It's just a matter of how optimistic and bullish you are. For instance, there's still the one that says 3 months from now, by I think end of June or July, that Bitcoin already goes to 150,000. That one then says 200 plus K by December. But all the other ones, they all say 100K by summer and $150,000 by the end of the year or potentially before the end of the year. It's a little weird. They all have the exact same number. He said it's a reminder of the sound money of Bitcoin because it's pre-programmed over 210,000, there we go, blocks to cut the block reward. We know it means you're cutting the supply, but demand has been strong. And Bitcoin's network usage has really been strong because of things like runes. So you know what? So you kind of made the demand side stronger and the supply side smaller. So I think it's upward pressure on the price. I think Bitcoin definitely makes new all-time highs this year. So we think something like $150,000 is probable this year. And then longer term, I don't think there's anything wrong with those targets people have of $500,000 for Bitcoin or much higher, for those of you who also were not here. The idea from all of these companies, all of these people, it's now like 20. They are all saying if we hit $150,000 this year, we are then aiming for a $500,000 Bitcoin by, I guess, summer 2025, what have you. It's lovely to see. It's cool to have all the optimism, but my anxiety is beginning to peak because it's like, if we get, you know how much, the amount of money to make Bitcoin double in price is there. Cool. The thing is if Bitcoin doubles this year, altcoins are probably going to like 10x this year as well. For those of you not looking at the calendar, it is still not January 2025. I don't know who needed to hear that. And as such, we would still have another couple of months of a bull run. If we go to 150,000 now this year, and we go to 500,000 next year, is Ethereum 16, 17,000? Is XRP at $14? That's a lot of money flowing into our market. It's all these little questions. When I talk about anxiety or blood pressure rising, it's literally like, how much money is there to be made here? That's the question I think we're all asking. But I think when you kind of stand back and you look at everyone getting the exact same number, this might be the craziest bull market, bull cycle, bull run that we've ever had. So I still, as I've said before, I'm still personally waiting for the 3-month movement that is going to basically write this in stone for me, as far as where the market is going. Yeah, I think this is also one of them as well. There's also another one. Yeah, people talking about that Bitcoin is, it says at a deep discount. Yes, I of course agree with that as well, because Bitcoin should not be as low as it currently is right now. We should have a long time ago. There are a number of the same exact people who are calling for $150,000 Bitcoin. They showed us, I mean, maybe about a year or two ago, they were showing us their metrics for Bitcoin. And that's where we got the news that each month, more than 1 trillion with a T, each month, more than $1 trillion worth of value is passing through Bitcoin alone. And they were going through all these metrics and they were like, we should be well over $100,000. But according to them, they said that the market manipulation is heavily at play. These rich people know what's up. They know what's going on, and they're successfully getting as much Bitcoin as they possibly can before we pass by all these psychological thresholds and pass by 90,000, paving the way for 100K, $150,000, $500,000 Bitcoin basically solidifies during the next halving. We have a $1.5, $2 million Bitcoin. Easily. easily solidifies it. So we're kind of at this thing right now where I'm still trying desperately to make people continue to pay attention to what's going on, to not be distracted by not only meme coins, but also this narrative in the market that because Bitcoin's price goes down by 2, 3, 4%, that's something. No. That's when the rich people are buying. They're waiting for these opportunities. You understand what yeah, you get it. We've gone over all this before. Yeah. So that's what I said at the beginning. Welcome back to optimistic news, because that's basically all that there is within the market right now. Everyone is pumped. Can you feel it? It's in the air. It's driving me insane. I've had a lot of nights where I've literally woken. I mean, it's crazy. I've woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just like sit there and I just think about the market, and I think about where everything is going, and like, yeah, there's a lot of money at play. I think we're really gonna see a lot of people make some heavy money this cycle, and I think people aren't ready for it. Yeah, that's the Bitcoin is trading at a deep discount because something's up. All this accumulation, all this stuff that's going on, it's all leading to something big. That's the Bitcoin news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in highly popular news, global central banks will likely get onto the rate reduction trajectory in the second half of this year. This was predicted by the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. They also predicted that controlled inflation and declining inflation would also aid in the rate cut view for most banks in the world. I don't know if you haven't seen, the economy's kind of poopy right now, and it's been that way for a while. I've been seeing a lot of other YouTube channels popping up and also people just discussing it. And I mean, it usually goes like this. We're told that inflation's only 4%. Joblessness is at an all-time low. Yet people still don't have but like $300 in their bank account. Like, this kind of thing is continuously going on. Job cuts are wild right now. There's so many companies who are firing a lot of people. And one of the craziest brainwashing things ever is that we're always told that companies are firing people to be like, for the company to be better. No, you need to also eat. You need to also get money as well. You need your job. These companies are firing people to show their shareholders that they basically cut costs because you are a cost for them. But the reason they're also doing it is because the economy's not good. People aren't buying as much. People aren't that interested in all these different things. The real estate market, I don't know if you've been seeing it. Listen, I am personally quite excited. I've been seeing real estate prices a lot of different places going down. It is lovely to see because it also takes away any narrative of there being a bubble, but also it's cheaper real estate for me to buy. That's usually the part that I'm actually a lot more happy about, is mainly because of interest rates. People are buying with mortgages, and therefore nobody wants to take out a 7-8% mortgage loan when we had 0% about 2 years ago. So the story all over the place has been for a while that we were supposed to get 4 interest rate cuts over the course of this year. I think 2 of these situations, 2 of the time periods have kind of come and gone, if you will. And this is why we're seeing Jamie Dimon and the guy from BlackRock and all these other people going on to CNBC basically saying that they want rate cuts. They want things to become cheaper because the way that they make their money is through debt. For those of you who don't know, if debt and money debt is cheaper for them with lower interest rates, they only bloom as a company, as an institution. So the idea has been, and the reason why this is in the cryptocurrency news and on cryptocurrency websites, is because if rates get cut, the stock market's going to go up. There's going to be new money that's going to be printed and created with less of an interest rate into it, and it's going to be pushed into all the markets, as we've seen before when we had lower interest rates or when the central banks were printing tons of money, which a lot of them are currently doing right now. That money gets pushed into the stock market, but it also gets pushed into the cryptocurrency market as well. The problem is that these countries are kind of at the end of their debt ropes, wherein as new money is created, these currencies continue to inflate. For those of you who were not here a couple of days ago, we now know that, you can find it on Goggle, that the US dollar has lost 99% of its value against Bitcoin. 99% against Bitcoin in the last, I believe, 10 to 12 years or something crazy like that. So we're seeing the debasement, the collapsing of these currencies, and it's not helping the economy, of course. It's not helping the economy at all. So one of the ideas is that when we do get interest rate cuts, we're going to see a major pickup, or at least a slight pickup in markets once again, because things aren't looking too hot. This is constantly in the cryptocurrency news. I tend to breeze over it every now and again because it's kind of exhausting. It's kind of like hearing that Ethereum is going to have an upgrade over the course of a year, and then we don't get that news until December. It's like we don't need to hear that they're going to be cutting rates. It's more like a just do it. The problem is that we keep getting, and I hate when they say it. I hate it. They keep saying that inflation is stickier than they want it, and I'm like, why use that? There's so many other words in English. Inflation's more difficult than we imagine. Inflation is more sturdy than we. Stickier is like what? That's the word you found in your head. So it's like, okay, cool. So they're now predicting that during the second half of this year, we are going to start seeing rate cuts. The number that I keep seeing is that apparently they're projecting 2 rate cuts of 0.25%. Cool. I don't think that that's going to have a major effect on the property market per se. I think people will be more inclined to take out debt, but 0.25% is going to do absolutely near jack diddly squat for the real estate market, because there's no real difference in you taking out a 9% interest rate and an 8.75, if we can be completely honest with ourselves. So yeah, the interest rate cuts news is still prominent within this space. That's the IMF news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in yay news, Coinbase is once again knocking on the door. For those of you who don't know, don't remember, for whatever reason, and I still haven't figured this out, a lot of countries keep trying to mimic the United States, and it's just like, the word's not even cringe, it's like, what are you doing? So a number of years ago, there were countries who were really at the forefront of crypto adoption and all these other things. And the UK and Canada were 2 of them. For some reason, they've kind of morphed into this really weird, let's mimic the US and the SEC kind of thing, and I haven't really figured it out. So last year, we heard, allegedly, that Coinbase got in trouble in Canada, so did, I think, Kraken. So did the Gemini twins, and so did Binance. And there were rumors of all these companies leaving the Canadian market for whatever reason. So the news today is that apparently Coinbase has smoothed things out, and now they have the paperwork to be able to operate in Canada. Coinbase has achieved a milestone by securing a license to operate in Canada, according to a new report from CNBC. Yada, 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 jabba, jabba, jabba. And it says that an ambitious push to bolster their international presence. No, stop writing these weird articles. It's about money. They don't care. International presence means nothing. They're going to the places where they think that they can make the most money, and Canada's one of them. The problem is that regulators in Canada have been very similar to the United States, and I don't understand why. You understand that every time that the US pushes out a company, they're looking for somewhere to go, and you're literally next door. You're right next door. You could have hundreds, if not thousands, of companies who are looking to do business. You know that extra money would only benefit your country, right? The exchange has been granted registration in Ontario as a limited dealer under the Canadian. Oh, I said that right. Canadian. That's a real word. I was thinking Canada, and I was like, Canadian? Canadian Securities Administrators, CSA, a collective forum of Canada's provincial and territorial security regulators. This achievement took 3 years. 3 years of diligent efforts. What do you think Coinbase is? It took someone 3 years to read through paperwork? Anyway, without having to read any further before I get annoyed at this, also popular news, I assumption, because it has to do with Coinbase and the idea of what they're doing and presence and stuff like that. Cool, fantastic, awesome. Why do countries do this? Why are you making it so difficult for people to make money? Oh, they don't want people making money. I got it now. Never mind. That's the Coinbase in Canada news. Fantastics. Yeah? Let's move on. Also in what? That's crazy. Guess who's in the news once again? Because they're in the news every single day. Shiba Inu's burn rate has seen more than... Oh, okay. Who wrote? That's very oddly worded. Apparently, the Shiba Inu burn rate rose by... That's a lot. That's a large number. 57,000% in the last 24 hours, indicating a major push to boost its deflationary status. According to Shiburn, the meme coin's burn tracker, a burn rate of 57,000% was spotted. This implies that 396 million Shiba Inu were burned within 24 hours. The burn rate is one of the largest, yada yada. On the 14th of April, Shiba Inu saw a massive surge in its burn rate metrics that contributed to solidifying its deflationary status. Cool. Yeah, wonderful. So they have a lot more to go. The total circulating supply of Shiba is apparently, why would you do that? It's 589 trillion tokens. With the recent burn, the total burnt token stands at, okay, it's a bit lower. Okay, 410 trillion. Shocked me. They got rid of 179 trillion tokens. Good for them. Okay, that's far better than I was assuming. Shiba Inu, and we're not seeing its counterpart, which is very weird. Shiba Inu's counterpart is Terra Luna Classic. Terra Luna Classic was, in the news every single day years ago, but now it just seems to be Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu is usually like the only altcoin news that we've been getting as well. A lot of other coins haven't hit the news. It's kind of odd. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Shiba Inu's burn rate continues to rise. These numbers don't make any sense. 57,000%. Can you imagine if XRP's burn rate rose by 57,000%? If Ethereum's burn rate rose by 50... Those numbers are crazy. Those are completely insane numbers. Yeah. They're still on track trying to get to that 1 cent per Shiba Inu. If anyone knows why they made 589 trillion, why would you do that to your coin? I think it makes a little bit, maybe like 1 trillion, like for the lulz. Be like, hey, we have 1 trillion coins, and you start burning them. 589 trillion is a lot. Anyway, that's the Shiba Inu news. Fantastic. Okie dokie. Let's move on. I'm going to try and be nice here. So remember how Binance created their own chain called Binance Smart Chain, and the point of Binance Smart Chain was to basically have their own ecosystem where you could build coins and you could do this and you could do yada, yada, yada within their ecosystem. And then that transformed into Coinbase making their own chain called Base. And they're constantly in the news talking about how amazing and awesome their chain is, even though no one's using it. And it's mainly other institutions and people who they work with who are putting coins and projects onto Base. So another cryptocurrency exchange is doing the exact same thing. Yay! The crypto exchange OKX is building something called Ag Layer. Okay. Crypto exchange OKX announced on Monday that its Ethereum Layer 2 based scaling network known as X Layer, okay, oh, that's fancy, has entered the public mainnet, becoming the latest name brand blockchain to offer crypto users faster and cheaper transactions than Ethereum's own mainnet. Yeah, cool it down there. Everyone for years has been creating stuff that they think or that they put out into the world as something better or quicker than Ethereum. And it's like, yeah, everyone's better and quicker than Ethereum, but Ethereum's still the most used blockchain. Built using the Polygon CDX, OKX's X layer is also one of the first to take advantage of Polygon's so-called Ag layer. Fantastic. They say we're building an ecosystem that is seamless and interoperable and blah, 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 blah. Layer X has limitless potential, blah, 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 blah. The Singapore-based exchange, which has over 50 million users, is one of crypto's largest by trading volume. Fantastic. So yeah, I feel like we should have seen this one coming. I think no. Kraken doesn't have their own blockchain, and neither do the Gemini twins. I don't think the Gemini twins have one. I don't think Gemini has one at all. So cool. This is always marketed as a way of, hey, look at how easy we're making crypto. We're making it easy and seamless. What it is just a money-making tactic. These chains realized quite a while ago, these companies, that Binance's smart chain makes an enormous amount of money. It's the same exact way we heard from whatchamajaggers about Tether. People began to hate on Tether, other companies, wink, because we found out that Tether, just from their fees, is making like billions of dollars every single quarter, which they're also using to buy Bitcoin, in case you forgot. So everyone's kind of just mimicking everyone else, but it always gets pushed as like, we're trying to make the world a better place. And it's like, you're really not, because if you did, you would make these ecosystems free. Or all the effort into building another chain, why not simply use all that money to build up Ethereum and Polygon that we already have? Oh, because you want to make more money. Cool. Got it. So I'm sad already because I know that the news in the next couple of months is just going to be a lot of OKX chain and then look at this and how much money we're making. Very similar to Coinbase's Base, which is also in the news always as well for the weirdest things. They talk about that like $15 million was locked up into Base, or this company's, and I'm like, no one cares. No one's using Base. No one's using Coinbase's Base except for Coinbase and other companies. We've literally heard the news over the course of the last like year and some change. They're taking stable coins and other coins that are on Coinbase and they're locking them up in Base to say that they have more TVL, more total value locked. That's like you growing apples in your backyard. If you have a backyard, you take those apples and you lock them in your fridge. So you say, hey, we have more apples locked up. And it's like, all you did was move your stuff from one room to another. Anyway, wow, another layer, X layer. That sounds like something from the X-Men. Has everyone been watching X-Men? Isn't it fantastic? If you haven't been, oh my gosh. I grew up with that show, like the old X-Men show. If you haven't been watching it on Disney Plus, you are missing It is incredibly good. It's like new but old. It doesn't make any sense until you watch it. It is fantastic. It is such a good show. I'm always waiting for the next episodes. Got off track there. Whoa, X-Layer. That's crazy. I think that's going to do it for this video. I do hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.